Good morning. It's 6:03. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Miss Erin down yonder has local news up next.
Gordon makes landfall. We'll talk more about that. Senator Kennedy in the middle of all the hullabaloo over Kavanaugh. We'll talk about that, too. And any idea where the Cyport stuff is?
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure you'll explain.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing Matt hates the most.
Oh,
I have a producer project for him.
Oh, I love those.
In a couple of seconds.
He's growling.
And boy, did a lot of people get a little upset at me about my summary of the LSU game on Sunday
Boy,
night.
did they ever.
Fletcher and sports and traffic and weather, and it's all coming up here this hour, right here, and it's on KEEL.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Tropical Storm Gordon made landfall near the Alabama-Mississippi border late last night with winds at 70 miles an hour. Governor John Bel Edwards says most of the impact will be felt to the east of our state, but we could see heavy rains across the southern part of the state and later across the north.
Truth is, there's not much difference between a strong tropical storm in terms of the force of the winds and a Category 1 hurricane.
National Weather Service meteorologist Eric Carpenter says with the move inland, the storm should slow down as northern portions of the state could feel the impact of the rains.
It should slow down some as it moves to the northwest towards northeast Louisiana. We should see rainfall increase.
Carpenter says not only should residents prepare for the storm to slow down, but to possibly even come to a halt over our state. New management trying to put back the Cyport pieces. Red River STEM, the management group now in charge, is trying to track down exhibits as they attempt to get the center back up and going. Many of the exhibits were shipped off by previous management company to be refurbished, but so far have not been returned. Bossier could be getting a new multi-million-dollar development. Matt Parker has that.
Dapper Holdings has offered to buy and develop a space in Bossier's new East Bank district. The company plans to spend $35 million to build a medical facility, boutique hotel, and office space. The development is expected to bring 75 to 100 temporary construction jobs and 100 permanent jobs. The city council will vote on the sale of the land and ordinances related to the development at their next meeting. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
The Caddo Commission is debating whether or not they should spend $3,000 on yard signs, reminding residents to protect their belongings. Several commissioners believe the signs would help cut down on car break-ins and crime. However, others disagree and believe the money could be better spent elsewhere. An earthquake rocks East Texas. A 3.2 magnitude quake reported near Timpson Tuesday morning, about 25 miles east of Henderson. According to reports, tremors were felt in Timpson, Garrison, and Mount Enterprise. No one hurt, no severe damage. Senator John Kennedy had a front row seat to the Judiciary Supreme Court confirmation hearing for Judge Brett Kavanaugh that got a bit rowdy between protesters and Democrats on the committee. Kennedy weighed in, saying the judicial selection process is not the place for these kinds of fights.
It's not the United States Supreme Court that's supposed to fix this country. Culturally, economically, socially, spiritually.
The hearing's expected to continue today. This week marks the 12th anniversary of the disappearance of Clinton Nelson. Nelson was last seen on the evening of September 1st, 2006, when he was walking out of a party in Bossier Parish. Lieutenant Bill Davis with the Sheriff's Office says investigators have combed through tips and are continuing to ask for the public's help with this case.
It's just a case that's baffled us over the years, hundreds of leads, and still no sign of Clinton Nelson.
Davis says Nelson's mother has been persistently vocal with investigators about finding something in this case. Amazon becomes the second publicly traded company to be worth $1 trillion. Hot on the heels of Apple, Amazon has revolutionized how people shop online and is the world's dominant internet retailer. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Nine past 6 o'clock. It's 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic update. Ruben's ready.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
Give me just a moment. I have to write stuff down. Well, you remember that one for later. The story we had yesterday. 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert and Erin. It's 11 past 6 o'clock. The story we had yesterday, the headline was, if a man truly loves a woman, he will stop at nothing to win her over. And the implication, what I inferred from the story, was that includes restraining orders. No matter what, I can win you over. And I thought, well, wait a second, because a woman wrote that. In fact, it was, judging from the photo on the byline, it appeared to be a millennial-aged woman. And I'm thinking, well, wait a second. The whole point of this story is no doesn't really mean no. That when a woman says, she doesn't, look, when a woman says, I don't want no, it was a great 6 months. No, it's over. I'm moving on. I'm hitting the road. Want you to hit the road too.
She's nuts.
She doesn't really mean it. That was what the story was about.
She's nuts.
We'll talk about that later. Make a mental note. Also, I have a producer project for you. I know, but it'll be awesome.
I doubt it.
When did we have Stephen Wegas back on?
2 weeks ago, something like that.
Not last week. Obviously, I was gone.
Yeah.
But it was, I believe, early to midweek before that. Maybe Monday or Tuesday, in fact. And the part of the interview, and he mentioned it twice, about, and the term I used, and I'm incorrect in the way I described it, or at least in the way basically what I called it was the ABCs of employment, that the state of Louisiana, to Stephen Wagesback, the CEO and president of the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry, what Stephen told us was, what Wags told us was, Louisiana is lacking in the ABCs of employment. Mm-hmm. And we said, well, what's that? And he said, reading, writing, and pass a drug test.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about...
He also talked about him being dependable, too. Being able to show up for work on time.
Find that clip of his interview, because I want to play that later in reference to the segment we did yesterday about your mayoral vote. You said, what's it going to take? Because you haven't decided yet. What is going to be
the deciding
that
factor?
tipping issue for me? And I said, in the end, is it really going to matter no matter what party, no matter what candidate?
Yeah, it matters.
Can they overcome state policy? Can they overcome years of federal policy that have gutted Shreveport economically?
They're going to have to figure it out.
Not to mention the state of Louisiana. Look, the best government is local government, and maybe you're right. Maybe the solution lies here at home, but it's, as I said yesterday, a tough row to hoe.
Yeah.
So, before we get to LSU and my friends who won't talk to me anymore,
I know.
Did you
'Cause
watch
you're a
any?
moron.
Did you watch any? And this occurred to me over the weekend. In fact, it occurred to me the moment I saw it, and I made a note, albeit a mental one, so there was no chance it would make it to the radio. Did you watch any of the Michigan and Notre Dame game?
Of course.
Michigan lost to Notre Dame, what was it, 24-17.
Good game.
Notre Dame was ahead 24-10. Mm-hmm. Michigan came back, scored a touchdown, then got the ball back with a couple of minutes left and was kind of driving down the field.
Poor Shea.
And the key play of the game was with about, a minute and a half or so, no, hell, less than a minute left. Mm-hmm. And Michigan quarterback Shea Patterson fumbled, and Michigan recovered. The key play of the game.
No, you said Michigan quarterback
Shea Patterson
fumbled and Michigan recovered.
Notre Dame recovered.
Right.
But did you see who caused the fumble, which I thought was a fascinating...
Do you know Shea Patterson's from here?
Well, but did you see who caused the fumble?
No.
Jerry Tillery, who's from here.
Wow.
It was Shreveport on Shreveport crime.
Wow.
Literally.
Shreveport on Shreveport football crime.
Yeah. Jerry Tillery from Evangel and Notre Dame hit Shea Patterson. In fact, Tillery had a hell of a game. In fact, Brian Kelly, is it Brian Kelly or Chip Kelly? I think it's
Brian.
Brian Kelly, the Notre Dame coach, said he's almost impossible to block. In fact, I had read there was a lot of discussion that Jerry Tillery wasn't going to come back for his senior season at Notre Dame and go to the NFL. He would be a high draft choice. But he came back to play, and he was the one that made the hit on Shea Patterson, Calvary guy. Late in the game, less than a minute left, knocked the ball loose, and there you go.
Boy.
Shreveport on Shreveport crime.
It was.
Yeah, my friends were rough on me yesterday.
Yeah, you're an idiot. You're really... I really did. Up until yesterday, Matt, I thought he had a mediocre grasp of overall football. I thought he was mediocre. But now I think you're down there in the...
Watson land.
Yeah, I think you're down there in Watson land. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Dan Keel land. I think you're down there.
Gary Watson land,
yeah,
bless his heart.
I think you're way down there.
Gary was awesome, but he was not a big sports guy.
Yeah.
And you're saying...
run around the diamond, score a touchdown.
And so basically you're lumping me in the same...
Goal! They don't do that in football, Robert.
What I said yesterday was that as far as LSU and Miami goes, I said LSU showed me nothing other than what LSU normally shows you. Mm-hmm. They have a good running game and a good defense. But you get a couple of games into the season and you get into your SEC contests. And the opponents that LSU faces are going to do what LSU opponents invariably do year after year.
And you don't think LSU doesn't know that? You ultra-maroon?
And yet... for years and years, they have failed to do anything about that.
Oh, they got a shot today. They got a shot now.
What I said was, when they get into the SEC schedule, hell, if I'm Southeast Louisiana this weekend, I put up an 8-man line, take away the run as best I can, and make Joe Burrow throw 30 to 35 times a game to beat me. Mm-hmm. I said, did you see an LSU passing attack Not necessarily a quarterback.
Yes.
Did you see an LSU? They went 11 for 24.
You didn't watch the game.
For 140
You are such
yards.
an idiot. You didn't watch the passing attack by Joe Burrow was spot on. Some receivers need some work.
You think they're not going to have those same receivers down the road?
They're going to work with them.
Well, the other thing, too, is they took their foot off the accelerator, so it's not like they were staying in passing mode through most of the game.
Right.
So you both are telling me, you specifically, LSU, crazy LSU fan, you are telling me that you have confidence when you play Auburn in a couple of weeks, or Georgia, or Alabama, or any of the other teams that are going to take away the run, as LSU opponents invariably do, that you are confident that what you saw out of the LSU passing attack against Miami will suffice, that Joe Burrow...
Yes, because they're not going to be able to take away the total run game. We have some horses. It was very apparent. We're still going to be able to throw it in.
2 years ago.
It's still going to be a threat you're going to have to guard against.
They took away the run against Leonard Fournette. They took away the run with Darius Geis.
Not 100% of the time. Never.
That was LSU's bugaboo. It has been the problem, the monkey on their back. Am I allowed to say that word? Hey, we're the M words. Sorry, I digress. The point I'm making is LSU didn't show me anything passing-wise that makes me believe
you
that...
You didn't watch the game.
11 for 24 for 140 yards.
Did you go to the oven for sausage balls during the game instead of the commercials?
What did you see?
I saw great passing. I saw great movement. I saw great command of the game. I saw a real SEC quarterback in that game.
Put the poll up on the Facebook page. Did you see, do you think Joe Burrow has what it takes to direct the LSU air attack to victories against SEC opponents? Because I tell you, it's coming, just like it comes every year.
Such an ultra-maroon.
The reason, I said this yesterday, Mark Richt, the Miami coach, you know what he showed me Sunday night? Why he got fired at Georgia.
Mm-hmm. There was some scandal going on, FYI.
Yeah, in his defensive scheme.
Yeah, whatever.
19 past 6 o'clock.
You're an idiot.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Matt has a project.
Matt agrees with me.
Matt has a project. We'll let you know what it is in a couple of seconds. I think I already told Matt what the project.
You did.
You did, yeah.
I'm sweating internally.
Man.
Traffic time. Ruben's here.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
Twenty-two past 6 o'clock. Time for sports. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 11:30.
How do you put this together annual?
Yeah, so this
24 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM is 710 Keel. So you're making a blog out of this at keelnews.com.
I am.
What does it say again?
Right now it says,
are you LSU fans, are you confident?
Yeah, I can't see the wording right now, but I'll.
You got your glasses on. That's probably why.
No, the wording's not up yet. It's in the embed code or whatever.
Basically, okay. LSU fans, are you confident that Joe Burrow is the quarterback to lead the LSU air attack to victory against SEC opponents when they stack the line to take away the run?
It'll be up in just a couple of minutes. Gordon made landfall, FYI. Tropical storm Gordon.
How fast is it going now? It was 15 yesterday.
Not sure the speed. It was near the Alabama-Mississippi border, near Pascagoula, Mobile area.
Is it a hurricane or a tropical storm?
Tropical storm. Okay. Maximum sustained winds of 70 mph.
Or as Erin calls it, kite flying weather.
Yeah, it's out there having a ball weather.
I've never heard.
Jim Cantori is partying today.
He's
that
not
is
even
party weather.
He's not even there. It's not worth his time.
I know it's not blowing hard enough for them to send Jim.
Unless the chances of you being sideswiped by a flying mailbox exist,
man,
he doesn't go.
No, he's got to be. It's got to be. You got to be blowing him sideways. You got to be blowing hair onto his head. Something crazy.
So give me updates.
Rainfall is what we're worried about now, particularly in the Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana coastline area. Rainfall amounts of 4 to 8 inches across the Florida Panhandle, parts of southeast Louisiana, South Mississippi.
What I looked at last night was that we literally will be on the western edge.
Yeah, it looks like the rain as it moves inland, and
which
you can
will be
see
tomorrow afternoon, I guess.
Yeah, you can see the maps from the National Hurricane Center at KEELnews.com. They're tracking it and where it's going. It looks like northeast Louisiana will get the rains. The big question now is, does it stall? You know how they'll sometimes move inland and then stall and just dump rain? Could northeast, the Monroe area, Ouachita Parish, could they get the 12 inches of rain that folks are saying could happen?
Shreveport, Bossier, Caddo, Bossier Parish, we seem to be right on that western edge.
It looks
of the storm.
It looks like we're going to be spared for the most part, but they are worried about tornadoes. They've already had several trees knocked down, flooded roadways. And we do have a report in the panhandle of Florida of one child dead when a tree fell on a mobile home and the child was found deceased inside. So we do have a tragic story coming out of the panhandle, the Pensacola area, I believe.
Okay.
Sad. But you know what? In terms of storms, Gordon was kind of a, I don't know. You got Florence coming up behind Gordon, though. You got Florence way out there and headed for... If it crosses Florida, it could get into the Gulf, or it could swim up the eastern seaboard. I don't know.
The fact that the letter F comes before the letter G leads me to believe that Florence has been out there, wherever it is, swirling around before Gordon even formed. Florence
formed first, so they name it first, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's still churning, which is not good, because let me tell you how that works. The longer it sits out in open water, the stronger it gets. And so Gordon moved quickly onto shore and didn't have time to get in those warm Gulf waters and strengthen as much as folks were worried about. But Florence is turning, and it's way out there.
So the Gordon-McKernan storm but the Florence-Henderson storm is still out in the Gulf and building strength.
Yeah, Florence-Henderson is coming. Just, keep that in mind.
Beware, Florence Henderson or Flo from Alice is headed this way.
Yeah, I've got her on the map, so just go look at her. Make sure you're keeping track of old Flo.
28 past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, traffic and weather and local news coming up next. 29 past 6 o'clock. Local news up next. Traffic time right now on KEEL.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
The power of information.
Sports Pieces. Matt Parker with the latest.
Red River STEM, the new management group in charge of Scyport, is trying to track down exhibits as they attempt to get the center back up and running. Many of the exhibits were shipped off by the previous management company to be refurbished, but were never returned. Another issue preventing Scyport from being reopened is part of the building needs to be rebuilt. Red River STEM and the city are discussing their options and who will be responsible for completing the remodel and getting the old exhibits back. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Can yard signs solve some of our crime problems? The Caddo Commission debating whether or not they should spend $3,000 on yard signs, reminding residents to protect their belongings. Several commissioners believe the signs could help cut down on car break-ins and crime across the parish. However, other commissioners disagree and believe the money could be better spent. Senator John Kennedy had a front row seat to the Judiciary Supreme Court confirmation hearing for Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Got a bit rowdy, though, with protesters there. Kennedy reiterated his earlier position that he's looking for a justice who will be a strict originalist interpreter of the Constitution.
It's almost become cliche, but the role of a judge is, or at least should be, to say what the law is, not what the law ought to be.
The hearing expected to continue today. Federal authorities say they've recovered a pair of ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz that were stolen from a Minnesota museum 13 years ago. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
1017 FM and 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. I sent Matt, and we'll talk about this more after 7 o'clock. I sent Matt a video last night, a John Stossel video. And as you know, if there's one thing that regularly, without fail, raises his temperature, gets the mercury a-rising, as they say, what is it? More than anything else, what is it that gets Matt a little hot under the collar if he had a collared shirt?
Well, he hates tops.
Yeah. More specifically, Matt, tell Erin about the John Stossel video that I sent you yesterday.
Well, basically, he did a little video on what I've been saying forever, which is that college is to make kids feel smart, not to actually educate them.
Oh,
that
boy.
It's more of a slap on the back. Look how special you are. You got into a fancy little college. Go get them. You're not learning any real life skills.
The point that Stossel also makes is the point I've made about student loans and scholarships and subsidized education, in that the student is no longer the customer, that the loan company or the state or the government, whoever it happens to be who's paying for college, whoever pays is the customer.
Yeah.
And there is no supply. The law of supply and demand has been thrown out the window, and that the cost of college tuition is rising at 3 times the rate of inflation.
Oh, boy.
And we've made this absurd but pointed point before. What year did you start at LSU?
79.
Now, admittedly, that's a million years ago.
It was $500 a semester.
Say that again.
It was $500 a semester.
Can you think of something else that cost 500, so let's $1,000 a year?
Yeah.
In fact, with everything all together, let's say $1,500 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of anything else that cost $1,500 in 1980 that costs $50,000 now? No.
Not really. No.
Yeah, I can. A tonsillectomy.
Yeah, maybe a ton. Yeah, medical costs are way up.
And you know why? Because the patient is no longer the customer. If there
Yeah.
are two things that operate on the same lack of principles, it's education and health care.
Mm-hmm.
The student isn't the customer anymore, and the patient isn't the customer anymore. And that's about it.
Right.
And I've told you this before. When I started at LSUS, what's LSU Shreveport now? $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a semester? I have no
clue.
idea.
I don't think it's that high. When I went there, I think it was about $2,500, somewhere in there.
$96. It was $96.
Wow.
I went to college for $200. Tuition was $96. College was $120. So I ask you again, can you think of anything that cost $96 in 1972 that costs $5,000 now? Yeah. Having an ingrown toenail removed at the doctor's office. 638, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. We'll talk more about this after 7 o'clock because we got to get Matt to yelling.
Yeah.
Traffic and weather updates coming up right now. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
So have you decided yet?
Have I decided what?
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright, and Erin McCarty. Oh, before we get to the topic of this segment, any response to your Keel Facebook poll yet? Did you
100% on my side.
What?
It's at keelnews.com.
What did they, what?
So far, it's 100% on my side. Just giving you a little heads up.
Have you posted?
Yeah.
Is the blog up at the website?
Yeah, it is.
Would you read it to me, please? In fact, would you read the article? Because I would personally like to hear the exact phraseology that you use to denigrate my stance.
Lots of folks are arguing about new LSU quarterback Joe Burrow. Some say his performance in the trouncing of Miami was lackluster.
That's good sports writing.
But others say he did a great job in managing the game and making great passes. Robert thinks Burrow will have trouble with those tough defenses from the SEC, while Erin and Matt think Burrow is up to the task of running the offense against the likes of Auburn, Alabama, Florida, and Georgia. We want to know your opinion. Take our poll and listen as we talk about your responses. Here's our question. LSU fans, are you confident that Joe Burrow is the quarterback to direct a successful Tigers air attack against SEC opponents when they take away the run? Yes, no, undecided.
Okay, so here's the question, basically. Let me rephrase
Yes is
that.
trouncing no.
Okay, in the top five, the collegiate top five right now, Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. So
LSU's moved up to 11, by the way, from 25.
Two of the top five teams in the country are SEC teams.
No surprise.
Alabama and Georgia.
And we play them both.
Is Joe Burrow, in your mind, and evidently it's yes, can you see Joe Burrow throwing 30 to 35 times for 300 to 350 yards and 3 touchdowns against those opponents? Because that's basically what you're saying. You're saying, yeah, no doubt.
If he gets a couple of hundred passing yards, I'll be happy. It'll be a good game. It'll be a good game. Couple of 100 yards. We'll still have some sort of run attack.
To have a chance against...
These are not going to be high-scoring games.
To have a chance. Have you watched Alabama?
Well,
to have a chance
against rinky-dink you.
But you said yesterday...
LSU is not rinky-dink this year.
You said yesterday, we don't know. They played Miami, who I think
Miami was number 8, Robert. Stop discounting them. They were a very big team.
Grossly overrated, as was obvious.
Well...
Look,
you're such an ultramaroon.
Don't get me
grossly. They won 10 straight games last year. They went 10-0 to start last season.
I hope LSU wins every game. I just know what it's like for you to build up this. You build yourself. You build these hopes up.
Matt, this could be the day.
Well, he's comical. He really is. I'm still pulling for Tech to win, so you're forced to retire.
Yeah.
I hope they go 11-2, and one of those losses is
This could be the day I pound him with a sledgehammer. I'm just saying, get 911 on the phone.
If LSU beat Alabama 35-12, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
The thing is, I didn't see anything in that trouncing of a great team on Sunday night. Your words, not mine. That trouncing of a great Miami team that showed me that Joe Burrow's the guy who's going to throw for 300 to 350 yards and 3 TDs against Georgia. I just didn't see that. Well, the receivers dropped it. Well, they're not bringing in new receivers.
It was also the first game of the year. They got to get warmed up, used to game speed.
So they were ill-prepared.
No. If you look at Alabama, they played Louisville, who was nothing. Most teams, week 1, play powder puffs where they get to work on stuff.
LSU put a big-time team on their schedule on the road in a neutral location. That is huevos.
Fox Sports. Doesn't that mean new? Fox Sports described Ed Orgeron yesterday.
Did they?
Ed Orgeron, you're going to love this. Sunday night, Ed Orgeron, LSU coach, looked like Vince Lombardi.
Whoa. No, he didn't.
Yeah, promise. Look at the poll online, keelnews.com. Okay.
Ed had a potty mouth, though.
So
he's got to clean that up.
I was the one that pointed that out.
No, I saw that. I watched it.
You didn't see what I put on the Facebook about
No.
that? I said, for a man who mumbles his way through most interviews,
You know the foul language.
his profanities came through loud and clear.
You heard it on the broadcast, too.
We had Stephen Wagas back on a couple of weeks ago. What I started this segment I was going to say was, have you decided yet? And you said, huh? Have you decided yet? Do you know what your major issues are in deciding your vote for the mayor's race?
I'm torn.
So
I
you don't
really
know
am.
what the issues are.
I know what I feel. I know what my innards feel. And that is, I want somebody who I can believe.
Because they're all saying the same thing?
Right. Can I really believe what you're selling me? I feel like I'm... And
pardon me just a second. When you say that, do you mean you... Because I think they're all sincere.
Yeah, but there's an oil factor.
But is there...
How oily do they each make me feel?
See, I don't get any of that.
Oh, I get oil factor.
I don't get any of that from any of the top.
I get oil factor from all of them.
I think they really...
all of them.
So to use your lexicon, not mine.
Yes.
There's something about Ollie Tyler that makes you feel oily.
Absolutely.
There's something about Steven Jackson that makes you feel oily.
Absolutely.
There's something about Adrian Perkins. There's something about Jim Talifero.
Yes.
And there's something about Leo Savage that makes you feel...
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Wow.
I have a bit of distrust for each one of them for a different reason.
The one thing I take away, ideology aside, the one thing I take away from each and every one of them is the sincerity.
Well, they're sincere, but I still have a little, those little things like when you're barren, so you don't know this, but you have this feeling if something's happened to your child, 2,000 miles away, you get this little tingling thing going on. I get a little oil tingle going on.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's the.
I want to be able to trust them, 100% trust them.
And you don't.
And I'm not 100%.
The one thing I buy into with all five of them is their sincerity. I really do.
I think they all want the best.
Okay, so let me ask the question then. Is it not so much the plan you're looking for, but a belief that candidate X, Y, or Z can actually implement that plan?
I need to see can do. And I don't have much evidence of can do yet. I mean, I still drive on I-20.
So basically,
I still drive on I-20 and their lights out in front of Independence Stadium.
So basically,
I'm like, how long do we have to gripe about this stuff?
When I said yesterday, at the end of the day, is your vote really going to count no matter who you vote for?
Of course, do not ever say that. Your vote counts.
Because
the struggle to get 20% in this election is huge.
But the point I was making yesterday was, in the sense that does your vote count, in the sense that are the odds against us, are the odds so stacked against Shreveport that there's no real plan? Are the policies being implemented by the state of Louisiana making it so difficult for us and the rest of the state to succeed? Are the policies that have been implemented prior to the Trump administration, as far as businesses moving overseas and tariffs and quote-unquote free trade, which was anything but free, those are the policies that, to use the term again, have wreaked havoc for 2.5 or 3 decades on Shreveport's economy. And are those economic mountains so high? Are they so difficult? Are they so is there really, are those odds, are those tasks insurmountable? That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And does it matter in the end whether it's Tyler or Talifero or Savage or Steven Jackson or Adrian Perkins? Can any of those five, are one of those five the one that can overcome Baton Rouge policies? Are they the ones that can overcome Washington, D.C., federal and international trade policy?
You're putting a huge burden on a mayoral candidate.
Welcome to the race.
Yeah.
649, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. It's time for traffic. It's time for Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Rush Limbaugh, the authority for all things right. Weekdays from 11 to 2 on 1017 FM and 710 KEEL.
Good morning, 652. It's 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Here's sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. LSU linebacker Kaylavon Chason will miss the rest of the 2018 season after tearing his ACL in the Miami game. The sophomore was expected to be the Tigers' most potent pass rusher. Other injury news, offensive tackle Adrian McGee will miss at least 2 to 3 weeks with a knee injury. The 11th-ranked Bayou Bengals welcome Southeastern Louisiana to Tiger Stadium Saturday night in the home opener. You can listen on 1130 The Tiger. Alex Bregman doubled 3 times, knocking in a pair of runs, and scored once to lead Red Hot Houston to a 5-2 win over Minnesota at Minute Maid Park. Justin Verlander allowed just 3 hits and 1 run in 7 innings to improve to 14-9. The Astros have won 4 in a row in 11 of their last 14 games and now own a 3.5-game lead over Oakland. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Good morning, 655. It's 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty from the Shreveport Security Systems text line, 318-392-1884, pertaining to your blog, your post at KEELnews.com about Joe Burrow, LSU quarterback. Takes more than a quarterback to win games, though Burrow's looked good in the slot.
No S on his name, by the way, FYI.
Yeah, it's Burrow. Look good in the slot. They do not look like a complete team. You just raised an eyebrow. I will go 3 losses for the season, maybe 4. Oklahoma looks much better. Something to add?
Got this from a married couple. My husband and I have been having the same conversation. I'm with Robert. Hubby's with you and Matt. So people are fighting over this.
Obviously, we know where the men are located in this studio.
Take the poll, KEELnews.com. Let us know what you weigh in on the quarterback controversy.
Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884 on the last segment pertaining to topics and or issues in the mayor's race. Believing them, what was your term? The oil factor is a little strong.
Maybe it's harsh. I know.
Believing them, Shreveport Security Systems text line. Believing them and believing in their policy ideas are 2 different things. Need both. More on that coming up just after 7 o'clock. Right now, here's Rush on KEEL.
For years, the food Nazis have pressured cereal companies to get rid of sugar in order to fight childhood obesity. So cereal makers ditched the sugar. But the kids still got fat. And it looks like the days of appeasement are over now because the Wall Street Journal says that sugar is coming back. Kellogg's killed off its lower sugar version of Frosted Flakes. After a backlash, General Mills scrapped its all-natural Trix and brought back the original, complete with artificial colors and artificial flavors the way it ought to be. Catering to the food Nazis hurt the cereal makers' bottom line. Cereals created to attract the health-conscious, like Cheerios with added protein or Frosted Flakes with high fiber, they didn't sell, nobody bought them. Over the last 5 years, cereal sales dropped 11%, so sugar is coming back to sweeten things up. Now, these cereal makers could have saved themselves a lot of grief if they had simply paid attention to me years ago or to Michelle Obama's school lunches. She replaced the foods that kids like with what she thought they should eat, and they ended up dumping her healthy choices into the garbage and sneaking off to fast food places. Consumers want Cheerios that taste like Cheerios, Trix with artificial colors, Frosted Flakes frosted with sugar, and they're going to get all of that again. It's a great day in America for you and for sugar, and hopefully a first step to more stuff like this.
Did you know that over 90% of male enhancement pills are virtually the same thing that's repackaged, redone over and over again? Why settle for the same old product when you can get something completely different? Something that takes male enhancement into the 21st century. Something that really works. Men, you need to try Noxitril, the explosive, all-natural male enhancement formula that will unlock your performance in the bedroom to a level you could only dream of. Try to imagine Viagra on steroids. Noxitril is so powerful, that's why it took years for it to finally become available to the public without a prescription. So call now and take advantage of our special Noxitril free bottle offer today. Oh yeah, we recommend that you use the Noxitril dose as directed. Think of your partner. We certainly don't want you to overperform in the bedroom.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 1-800-605-1673. Free bottles for a limited time, so call now. 800-605-1673. That's 800-605-1673.
The intersection at Hearn Avenue and Ford Street's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Hamilton Road near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline at 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, turning mostly cloudy but hot with a high of 95 today. Clouds, low 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon, mainly in the afternoon tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport. The KEEL.
Three past 7 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Erin, local news, getting ready now.
Gordon makes landfall. We'll talk about the possible impact in Louisiana. Red River STEM looking for some of the exhibits. And a big-time development for Bossier City.
Is when you say STEM, you're talking about like the new Cyport people. Is that basically like, is it like the GM plant where they were just selling stuff off? Is it just gone?
No, they were getting it repaired.
You'll give me details, right?
Yeah.
Okay, going to talk about Colin Kaepernick and Nikes, and we're going to talk about a little more about the Shreveport Mayor's race. What's the key? What should you look for? What do you need to hear for somebody to get your vote?
Right.
Oh, yeah, and Matt may talk about tops, too.
Oh, boy.
And set fire to his own hat.
What about WAGs? Have we got that ready?
That's coming up.
Okay.
Fletcher and Sports, traffic and weather. It's all here this hour on KEEL.
Information. KEEL News now.
The National Hurricane Center says Tropical Storm Gordon has made landfall just west of the Alabama-Mississippi border. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell says her community is still preparing.
Gordon's track continues to focus to the east of our area, and our thoughts, of course, will always be with our neighbors along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. However, that does not mean that this storm will not impact the city of New Orleans.
Gordon's maximum sustained winds were 70 miles an hour. The concern now is for rain and, of course, possible tornadoes. Eric Carpenter with the National Weather Service says the amount of rain to brace for depends on where the storm happens to finally stall.
Be prepared for some very heavy rainfall, but don't be very surprised if the rainfall amounts end up being light.
He says some parts of the area could see as much as 12 inches of rain. Dapper Holdings has offered to buy and develop a space in Bossier's new East Bank district. The company plans to spend $35 million to build a medical facility, a boutique hotel, and office space. The development expected to bring 75 to 100 temporary construction jobs and 100 permanent jobs. New management trying to put Cyport's pieces back together. Red River STEM trying to track down exhibits as they attempt to get the center back up and going. Now, many of the exhibits were shipped off by the previous management company to be refurbished, but were never returned. Another issue preventing Cyport from being reopened is part of the building needs to be rebuilt. Red River STEM and the city are discussing the options and who will be responsible for completing the remodel and getting the old exhibits back. This week marks the 12th anniversary of the disappearance of Clint Nelson. He was last seen on the evening of September 1st, 2006, when he was walking out of a party in Bossier Parish. Sheriff's Lieutenant Bill Davis says Nelson's mother has been persistently vocal with investigators about finding closure for the case.
Behind every missing person, behind every cold case, if you will, is a family, is a loved one who wants answers, and that's why we're going to keep on doing what we can.
Davis adds every tip throughout the years that's come their way is very much appreciated. Can yard signs solve some of Shreveport's crime problems? Matt Parker takes a look.
The Caddo Parish Commission is debating whether or not they should spend $3,000 on yard signs reminding residents to protect their belongings. Several Caddo commissioners believe the signs would help cut down on car break-ins and crime in the parish. However, several commissioners disagree and believe the money could be better spent elsewhere. The matter will go to the Long Range Planning Committee for a final decision. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
11th ranked LSU will play the rest of the season without top pass rusher, as Coach Ed Orgeron says Clavian Chason suffered a knee injury in the big win over the Hurricanes.
I feel bad for him. He's a great young man. He had totally dedicated himself to this year, and but he's going to get through this. This is going to pass for him, and he'll have a great career down the road. I know his teammates. Very sad that he is going to be out the rest of the year, but we're going to have to step up, and guys will step up at that position.
The Tigers next take on Southeast Louisiana at Tiger Stadium. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Good morning. It's 11 past 7 o'clock. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic update right now. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Uri Drive and Southfield Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Old Minden Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
13 past 7 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL app is a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. So do you want to walk it back a little bit? That's the big question. Do you want to take what you said in the last hour, specifically the 640 segment? Do you want to just sort of pull back a little bit? Do you want to reassess? Do you want to say, maybe I didn't mean quite what it sounded like I said?
No.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oil?
Yeah.
No. And
I mean, isn't that just
it's not a reflection on any of them. It's a reflection of politics.
But when you say to me somebody like they're making me feel oily.
I feel that way about anybody running for office. I'm skeptical of anybody running for office.
Is there a difference between being skeptical and calling somebody like oily?
No. I have to raise my oil buds to make sure I vote right. You follow me? I know I'm kind of weird.
I'm doing my best.
You have to get them on edge.
Okay. So literally, using your terminology, your definition of the word oily.
Mm-hmm.
This goes back to the segment we had yesterday. Does your vote really count? And you get all high. Yes, it counts because this is America.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, in this mayor's race, are the odds so stacked against whoever the winner is going to be because of federal and state policies? Or is it just too much to overcome? So we'll get to that in a second.
No.
We'll get to that in a second. So there's something about Ollie Tyler. She might be listening right now. There's something about Mayor Ollie Tyler that makes you feel oily.
There's something about everyone
There's something
that runs
about,
for office.
Something about Jim Talaferro that makes you feel
I love these people. Don't get me wrong. These are
oily.
great people. I love that they put themselves up for service.
Stephen Jackson that makes you feel oily.
Yes.
Something about Leo Savage that makes you feel oily.
Adrian Perkins, too.
Makes you feel oily.
Yes. Slippery. And it's not like that spray-on suntan lotion. It's like that greasy stuff you and I used to put on when we were...
Explain to me what that means. That sounds horrible.
I know it does. I hear great messages from all of them. I hear great plans. I hear great proposals. But I'm very suspicious about the can-do. Because I've lived here many, many, many years.
Right.
And I've seen a decline in this city over these last 30-plus years. I want to know if what you're selling me.
So let me ask
can you turn my city around? This is my city,
So
Robert.
now we're back to the point I've made for some time. The point that I hit home yesterday and earlier this morning. Does your vote really count? Are the odds against Shreveport's success because of state policies and federal policies that have been in place since the 1990s that have ravaged Shreveport's economy? And what is that candidate going to do to overcome? Is there a candidate whose plan can overcome the tax policies, the increased regulation that continues to come out of Baton Rouge and hurt the Louisiana economy?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a candidate?
You know what?
Hold on.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to compare something Bossier's doing to this could happen in Shreveport. This could have happened in Shreveport. Let's take the Bossier East Bank District, okay? Let's pick that up and let's think about East Texas Street over there by Herbie K's. Dilapidated buildings, a ton of them. Great little thoroughfare. You could have all kind of great eateries over there, all kind of antique shops. What Bossier did at the East Bank District could have been done in Shreveport.
Who in this room has been preaching renovation for...
But who's not trying this? Now we have news today of a $35 million development in the East Bank District in Bossier. $35 million. They're going to build a medical facility. They're going to put a boutique hotel over there. That little strip in there from almost Traffic Street all the way almost to Hamlet.
Old downtown Bossier.
It is absolutely gorgeous. If you've not been, I urge you, take your bike. There's a park. There's all kind of eateries, antiques. It is incredible.
So back to the odds. that Shreveport has to overcome, that a mayoral candidate faces to return the city to years of previous economic glory.
We need to believe that we can do what they're doing in Bossier.
And
go for it.
This is what Louisiana Association of Business and Industry President Stephen Wagasback talked about, and I'm talking about now about policies implemented by the state. And more than that, things, cultural things, sociological things that impact not only the ability of our state to get big companies to come here.
But there's some warning signs. Right now, our wage growth is the lowest in the country. Our wages are going up year after year, worse than any other state. And we have almost 60% of our adult population not in the workforce. And that is a huge
Wait, pardon
issue.
me. Pardon me. Repeat that again and say it a little more slowly and emphatically.
We have the lowest wage growth in the country, and we have 60% of our population in the workforce. That means almost 40% of our adults aren't looking for a job. And that's the lowest ratio since 1977. So we have low wage growth. We have a low number of adults looking for jobs. That is a recipe for disaster. We have got to turn that around and start putting people in the workforce, making them get off the couch and get into a job. And hopefully wages will go up there because there are jobs out there. I hear employers all the time saying they're looking for workers. What they can't find is workers who can read and write and stay off drugs and have soft skills. And soft skills is code for work ethic. You can come in, show up every day, and be dependable.
Basically what he's saying right there is that you can build all the $35 million things in Bossier, which are awesome, which are absolutely great. But if only half of the people in Louisiana are in the workforce, of the adult population, if only half of the adult population is in the workforce, that means there's half of the adult population in Louisiana that's not going to be able to go to these brand new, shiny, cool things. 19 past 7 o'clock.
I got to get my Sharpie out now.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Hearn Avenue and Ford Street's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Hamilton Road near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
Twenty-two past 7 o'clock. Here's Keel Sports. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. LSU linebacker Kaylavon Chason will miss the rest of the 2018 season after tearing his ACL in the Miami game. The sophomore was expected to be the Tigers' most potent pass rusher. Other injury news, offensive tackle Adrian McGee will miss at least 2 to 3 weeks with a knee injury. The 11th-ranked Bayou Bengals welcome Southeastern Louisiana to Tiger Stadium Saturday night in the home opener. You can listen on 1130 The Tiger. Alex Bregman doubled 3 times, knocking in a pair of runs, and scored once to lead red-hot Houston to a 5-2 win over Minnesota at Minute Maid Park. Justin Verlander allowed just 3 hits and 1 run in 7 innings to improve to 14-9. The Astros have won 4 in a row in 11 of their last 14 games and now own a 3.5-game lead over Oakland. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
24 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
I'm not playing.
No, I can see that. Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Okay, so explain to me. I want you to explain to me, and Maddie, you grab your mic too. Explain to me what you think is the marketing logic of Nike, a publicly held company.
Yeah.
Whose job is basically, like all publicly held companies, at the end of the day, to make money for their stockholders.
Right.
So explain to me how this Colin Kaepernick deal is explain to me the business, how this is business and or marketing savvy.
Because there's a large crowd of people who loves Colin Kaepernick speaking his mind, standing up for what he believes in, willing to put it all on the line, and hadn't played in 2 years as a result of his protests during the national anthem.
Stop right there. Do you really think that Colin Kaepernick is being blackballed by the NFL?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because that's what you just said.
I don't know. He hadn't played. Is he good enough to play? Probably. He hadn't played. Is he good enough? You bet. He's absolutely good enough.
Although he was not a starting quarterback on the team of 49ers
right.
when his contract ran out and he left the team as a free
But he
agent.
had a great year prior to that. He had a great season.
No, actually, he had been benched.
But, I mean, prior to that, he had a really good year. He was
under Harbaugh, he had taken
the,
them to the Super Bowl.
You
You're
bet.
100% right.
So he's got glimmers.
So I ask you again, Matt, explain to me the marketing logic of Nike putting Kaepernick as their public persona.
What are we doing right now? We're talking about it. They want to generate a buzz. They don't care how they do it. They know this. As soon as they put this together, they knew it was going to generate a buzz and people would be talking about it.
But did they not see what's happened to the NFL? Fewer people are buying tickets, fewer butts in stands, fewer people are watching. You don't watch anymore.
Do you think?
That's not exactly true. But
do you think?
The ratings are horribly down. Go
ratings for everything is down.
But
in fact,
even
the
worse.
ratings for the NFL has dropped less than most regular television.
Do you think
the attendance at games is off?
Do you think they intended or factored in the possibility that suddenly, whether they meant to or not, that wearing a pair of Nikes would actually become a political statement? And do you think they want that? In other words, if you wear Nikes, you
believe in what you
Antifa,
believe in the right.
Your Black Lives
and don't
Matter.
get me wrong. I believe in your right to protest. I'm with I'm with Colin and the gang if they want to protest, but I believe in my right as well.
What's that in your hand?
This is a Sharpie. I'm sad to say I have on Nikes today. This will be. I am going to black out their swoosh, their white Nike swoosh on my. I'm ruining a pair of sneakers. Sorry. You can watch us on the Facebook feed. It's going to take me a minute. I'm blackening out.
Just to give you guys some perspective, she wanted to bring a fire pit inside and burn
I wanted to burn it inside. Why can't I burn things inside?
It's
just
building,
rubber.
This building's a little old, and I'm not sure that it's what's the word I'm looking for? This is not a well lubricated building.
It's not?
No.
I'm going to run out of this Sharpie. I brought 3 Sharpies, so I'm going to blacken out this white swoosh so you can't see
Matt,
the
you think
swoosh.
she's stupid to do that. Why?
I think a lot of the people on the right, all those liberal snowflakes overreacting to things. This is the same exact thing.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not giving another penny to a company who wants to give their money to somebody who wants to kneel down for the national anthem.
Okay, well, you don't have to buy them.
I'm not buying them.
Ruining a pair of menswear is just ridiculous.
I'm not going to promote. Their swoosh promotes their company. I'm not going to promote their company until I get my other sneakers back on.
Report.
No more swoosh will be seen on my foot.
Adidas and Puma.
Oh, I'm down. I'm going shopping today.
Also discussed signing Kaepernick to endorsement.
Oh,
deal.
no.
For those looking to boycott Nike for signing original anthem protester Colin Kaepernick to a major ad campaign, might want to think about adding Adidas and Puma to your list.
Uh-oh.
According to Yahoo, both Adidas and Puma were also talking about engaging the controversial former quarterback in a lucrative advertising campaign.
Don't do it. I'm just telling you.
Industry insiders told Yahoo that Adidas and Puma were among multiple brands that had conversations about potentially conversations about potentially building a campaign around Kaepernick if Nike failed to renew his deal following the long stretch of endorsement inactivity.
Wow. Then I'll have to get rid of my Stan Smiths, too.
Do you remember the old Michael Jordan line?
No.
What Michael Jordan said about when anybody, and I don't know, Michael Jordan says he did not really say this, but whether he did or not, it's a pretty good line. And it goes down, somebody wanted Michael to take a political stand on something, and his response was, Republicans buy sneakers too.
You bet they do. We buy way more sneakers, I bet.
And let me ask
Maybe
you,
not.
if by signing Kaepernick and making him the face or one of the faces of their Just Do It campaign, are they spitting in the face of your sons
That's where I am.
who defend America?
That's where I am.
Are they spitting in the face of your father who won the Bronze Star at Okinawa during World War II?
You're giving money to somebody who's willing to kneel down while the national anthem is being played, disrespecting people who serve this country. That's my opinion. I have a right to it. He has a right to his. I promise you from this day forward, I will not buy any more Nike products. No shirts, no undergarments, no sneakers, no socks, no hats, no nothing. And if I was a golfer or another ball player or something, and I had a Nike deal, and I disagreed with this, I would be shopping for a new company today.
29 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here comes Ruben.
The intersection at Line Avenue and Olive Streets dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some heavy backed-up traffic on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
Tropical storm Gordon made landfall near the Alabama-Mississippi border late last night. Winds at 70 miles an hour. Richard Pash, a senior hurricane specialist at the Hurricane Center in Miami, tells us what the storm is likely to do.
Produce some strong winds and storm surges of up to 4 feet above normal. 4 to 8 inches of rain, with some areas up high as 12 inches over the southern United States there, including parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, southern Arkansas, and the western Florida Panhandle.
National Weather Service meteorologist Eric Carpenter says with Gordon's move inland, the storm should slow down as northern portions of the state feel the impact of the rain. He says the storm could even come to a halt over our state.
Eventually maybe stalling for a little bit, and this could happen right over the northeast corner of Louisiana in that area. Depending where that happens, there could be a prolonged period of heavy rain threat.
A child has died in Florida in what could be Gordon's first storm-related death. The Escambia County Sheriff's Office posted on its Facebook page that deputies responded to a call that a tree had fallen on a mobile home in Pensacola. Upon their arrival, they found the child deceased. Dapper Holdings has offered to buy and develop a space in Bossier's new East Bank district. The company plans to spend $35 million to build a medical facility, a boutique hotel, and office space. The development expected to bring 75 to 100 temporary construction jobs and 100 permanent jobs. New management trying to put back Cyport's pieces. Matt Parker with the latest.
Red River STEM, the new management group in charge of Cyport, is trying to track down exhibits as they attempt to get the center back up and running. Many of the exhibits were shipped off by the previous management company to be refurbished, but were never returned. Another issue preventing Cyport from being reopened is part of the building needs to be rebuilt. Red River STEM and the city are discussing their options and who will be responsible for completing the remodel and getting the old exhibits back. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Can yard signs solve some of our crime problems? The Caddo Commission debating whether or not they should spend $3,000 on yard signs, reminding residents to protect their belongings. Several commissioners believe the signs could help cut down on car break-ins and crime across the parish. However, other commissioners disagree and believe the money could be better spent. Senator John Kennedy had a front-row seat to the Judiciary Supreme Court confirmation hearing for Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Got a bit rowdy, though, with protesters there. Kennedy reiterated his earlier position that he's looking for a justice who will be a strict originalist interpreter of the Constitution.
It's almost become cliche, but the role of a judge is, or at least should be, to say what the law is, not what the law ought to be.
The hearing expected to continue today. Federal authorities say they've recovered a pair of ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz that were stolen from a Minnesota museum 13 years ago. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
You're gonna have
See? Gone.
Da 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 da
Da da da da. The swoosh is gone.
Nice. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert and Erin, you're gonna have to do a better job. I'm not sure what you can do.
What?
That's.
You can still see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm. That's just for today. I'm not showing off their swoosh for today.
Erin's pissed at Nike, so she's covering up the swoosh on her shoes.
I'm covering up the swoosh
How
and
many
the
pairs
words
of
Nike.
Nikes do you have?
This is it. I normally don't wear Nikes, but I have this one pair that I have liked because it's lightweight. I usually like my Stan Smiths. I have a pair of Asics. I'm gonna go get New Balance. Somebody texted us and said that they're made here.
Systems text line 318-392-1884. I only buy New Balance as they are manufactured in the USA by Americans.
I like that.
Make them in Massachusetts. Was going to insert USA flag here, but no such emoji on my phone. Also from the Shreveport Security Systems text line, I love this. No, conservatives probably don't buy more sneakers. I believe we're more inclined to buy work boots.
Whoa, that's good.
You know when I quit buying Nikes, I had a pair of Nikes back in, I think it was the late 80s or early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil Knight, and I don't know when I say this if people think I'm joking or not. That looks better, by the way.
Does it? Okay.
I don't know if people think I'm joking or not. But Phil Knight, the president, founder of Nike, he gave money to Tanya Harding's defense fund.
Oh, yeah.
When she was on trial for kneecapping Nancy Kerrigan.
Right.
And I just thought, that's what?
Stay out of it.
What?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Idiot. Yeah, I'm done now. I'm afraid. Did you see their stock price yesterday? I mean, plummeted. Wait, the backlash from this. I saw a piece online today. Is this the worst marketing ploy since New Coke?
I was just going to say since New Coke.
New Coke.
739, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Other companies you can boycott, and I've got a couple. We can talk about that when we get back. It's up
Okay.
next on Keel. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Line Avenue and Olive Street's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some heavy backed-up traffic on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
.1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Before I give you the list of more companies, or at least one more you can boycott, and this is going to be very interesting when I tell you about this, because this is it. Well, you talk about burning Nike shoes. Wait till I tell you what else you might be burning.
Yeah, and I don't know why I can't burn them indoors.
This is, what's the term? Tinderbox. This place would go up. No, what are you thinking? You can't burn stuff indoors, especially a building like this. This is, as I said earlier, this is not a well-lubricated building.
I could go get one of the cast iron pots from the kitchen and just burn them in the little pot right here on the ground.
Where's the smoke going to go?
Out the vents? I don't know. Boss won't get mad about that, will they?
Things come into the studio through the vents.
Yeah.
We don't evacuate the air in the room.
We'll leave the door open. We'll set the fire pit over there by the door. What's wrong with this?
You have my okay.
Okay.
8 o'clock, you set fire to those shoes in the hall, right down by the general manager's
I
office.
like this idea.
The Keel website is keelnews.com, and Erin has a poll up. Go back to that. Let's give folks an update.
Now.
And it's an argument that we started yesterday, and Erin is convinced that the LSU team that you saw trounce Miami on Sunday night is the team that will play Alabama nose-to-nose, head-to-head, inch for inch.
Yeah.
Probably go to an overtime.
I'm not that confident yet, but I'm feeling better.
Have you seen the first Tua Tagovailoa
yes,
touchdown?
I watched Tua.
Did you see? Am I being silly when I say you just want to give that kid who's going to beat them? Who's going to beat them? If it were any other coach, but Nick Saban, I would say a coach who is so usually such a control freak wouldn't know how to handle a gunslinger like Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I think Saban's going to learn to slap himself on the forehead and know that I have one of the greatest quarterbacks. Probably by the time this kid's done, he may be one of the greatest college quarterbacks ever.
Yeah, he's going to be
And I don't just say that lightly. You're hitting yourself in the head. What the hell?
Well, they played a bunch of jabronis. They didn't play a real defense with real coverage.
You're right about that. The ACC is not strong, as we saw from Miami and as Alabama saw from Louisville.
What do you want to bet right now? that Tua Tagovailoa wins the Heisman Trophy.
I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I'm just saying
No.
game against Louisville's defense
Let's
is
give him a real test.
There's a difference between he's not going to be bad, coming on the heels of the national championship game, by the way. There's a little evidence the kid can play. So there's a little difference between, well, he's not going to be bad, and what I just said, do you want to give him the Heisman Trophy
I mean,
now?
throwing over some cream puffs with no man-to-man coverage is a lot different than guys that can actually play.
You mean like Clemson?
Like Clemson, like LSU, who has a fantastic, an elite defense.
Who threw the touchdown passes again? That's my point I'm making. He was the one who brought Alabama back from, 26-12 or so, and beat Clemson in OT.
Bad game planning.
Back to
They
your
beat Georgia, by the way.
Oh, Georgia. I'm sorry. Back to your poll.
Do you have an opinion about LSU's quarterback is the headline. It's at KEELnews.com. And the poll says this. LSU fans, are you confident that Joe Burrow is the quarterback to direct a successful Tigers air attack against SEC opponents when they take away the run? Yes or no? And let me tell you how the voting's going so far.
Am I going to take a hit here?
81% say yes. Only 9% say no, and another 9% are undecided.
We'll tackle this just after 8 o'clock. We had State Attorney General Jeff Landry on a couple of weeks ago. Do you remember what the topic of that was?
We were talking about the bond commission, the change down there in the banking.
And do you remember specifically what the Attorney General wanted to do? He wanted to take, well, here, let me read, because in reality, the State Bond Commission thwarted the desires of Governor John Bel Edwards, who said that it was Jeff Landry and Secretary of State John Schroeder. And it's Schroeder's Treasury, I'm sorry. And here, let me read it to you. The State Bond Commission has barred two of the largest banks in the world from participating in efforts to fund some highway projects in Louisiana because of those banks' firearms policies instituted after recent mass shootings. On a 7-6 vote, the commission excluded Citigroup, the nation's third largest bank, and the Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, the second largest, from participating in a $600 million plan to widen Interstate 10 in Baton Rouge and improve access into the Louis Armstrong Airport in New Orleans. State Treasurer John Schroeder made the motion, saying the bank's restrictions infringed on Louisiana residents' constitutional rights to buy firearms. As treasurer and chairman of the Bond Commission, it is one of my duties to help hire financial professionals and not necessarily social engineers. When we had Mr. Jeff on, that was one of the things he was talking about. We had John Kennedy on, Senator Kennedy, talking about this very thing. How because Democrats now realize how leftists, how the socialists, how Tom Gresham, the gun control lobby, realizes they cannot get legislation passed to prohibit, to overturn the Second Amendment. What they're trying to do it is by corporate pressure. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Levi Strauss is launching a $1 million gun control campaign, which includes partnering with Michael Bloomberg-funded Everytown for Gun Safety Coalition to represent pro-gun control business leaders. Levi Strauss president and CEO Chip Berg announced the gun control initiative, in which he assures readers, listen to this, in which he assures readers and Levi Strauss buyers, he is not trying to repeal the Second Amendment. Rather, ready for this? He wants to join efforts to pressure Congress into outlawing. He doesn't want to overturn the Second Amendment. He wants to outlaw private gun sales, sales between a neighbor and a neighbor, a father and a son, a lifelong friend and a friend. In other words, basically every kind of gun sale there is.
Goodness.
So, Nike burners, are you ready to set fire to the Levi's?
Ooh.
Because the head of Levi Strauss, Levi's, basically the CEO is saying, I am against the Second Amendment. I want it overturned. Private gun sales to private citizens should be banned. 749, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Yo, Ruben, what you got, kid?
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on North Market near North Common Street, and we're still keeping an eye on that heavy backed-up traffic on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, turning mostly cloudy but hot with a high of 95 today. Clouds, low 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon, mainly in the afternoon tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
It is 8 before 8 o'clock, 1017 FM and 710 Keel Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. LSU linebacker K'Lavon Chason will miss the rest of the 2018 season after tearing his ACL in the Miami game. The sophomore was expected to be the Tigers' most potent pass rusher. Other injury news, offensive tackle Adrian McGee will miss at least 2 to 3 weeks with a knee injury. The 11th-ranked Bayou Bengals welcome Southeastern Louisiana to Tiger Stadium Saturday night in the home opener. You can listen on 1130 The Tiger. Alex Bregman doubled 3 times, knocking in a pair of runs, and scored once to lead red-hot Houston to a 5-2 win over Minnesota at Minute Maid Park. Justin Verlander allowed just 3 hits and 1 run in 7 innings to improve to 14-9. The Astros have won 4 in a row in 11 of their last 14 games and now own a 3.5-game lead over Oakland. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Lots to cover past 8 o'clock. So explain to me what's happening with Cyport stuff. That like if you went in there and all the they sold the exhibits. Did I
No. If you're familiar with Cyport, let's just take you remember the bed of nails? You could lay on it, and it was literally a bed of nails. Well, it was in pretty bad shape, so they shipped it off to get it fixed up and refurbished.
Who refurbishes beds of nails?
I don't know where you ship beds of nails to.
Nails are us.
I'm not sure, but it's off being handled or taken care of or fixed up or spruced up.
Of nails magic number?
I don't know. But now the new management is trying to, get all that stuff back in, find out are the bills paid to fix them up, who's going to pay them.
In other words, where did the bed of nails go?
Where is the bed? Is it in somebody's basement and they're, enjoying it? I don't know. Did it really get shipped off? Imagine hanky-panky on that.
Why don't you just keep going before you get yourself in trouble?
I'm just thinking about it.
Just put the leather mask down and get back to the bit.
I got you. So all this stuff is scattered at all these places to get them fixed or upped.
Right.
And we don't know, who's got it, how much is paid, if any of it's paid.
STEM, which is basically the management company for the new Cyport, when it opens, they're trying to track all this stuff down.
They're trying to track it all down. They're trying to figure out are they responsible? Because we were told the old Cyport board would be responsible for the debt. Remember? Well, part of the debt is you sent this stuff off to get it fixed up. Well, that's part of your debt.
Well,
so are they going to pay for it? Is the city? Is STEM?
Is the old board making a public statement?
Nah.
The old board that are basically responsible for the current situation of no money.
They're dissolved, and I don't know how much they left in the bank accounts.
So is STEM going to pick up the tab?
They're talking about whether STEM will do it or would the city step in or maybe the community foundation.
Has STEM
I don't know.
Ask the city to step in.
They are in negotiations to try to get it all back.
Correct me if I'm wrong. When a body like STEM asks the city to step in, basically what they're saying is we feel like you ought to pay for it and you're responsible.
Well, the city owns it all. It's the city's property. So, if the city owns my car and they send it in for a fixer-up, do I pay for it or do they?
Matt's kicking into St. Vitus mode here.
Yeah,
1017 FM, 710 Keel. More on this past 8 o'clock. Here's Sean Hannity.
The truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The only reason you're going to get some Democrats to vote for Kavanaugh is because they come from red Trump states, like Manchin in West Virginia. So what you have is, I would call it an election year conversion. You'll probably get the same thing Claire McCaskill is fighting for her life. Let's see what Bill Nelson down in Florida does, or Donnelly in Indiana does, or Heidi Heitkamp in North Dakota does. All these people now fighting for their lives, and they should be defeated if we can get people to understand the magnitude and the importance of the midterm election. And it's really this simple. Chuck Schumer, this is what they say behind closed doors. This is what they want to do. This is what we've heard over and over again from Maxine Waters and others. Impeach 45, impeach 45. They've wanted to impeach him before he was elected.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
John Gibson here. President Trump defines leadership. The first major tax reform in 30 years. Unemployment at an 18-year low. Jobless claims lowest since 1973. The Dow highest ever. Milestone achievements. And now Noble Gold has minted an exclusive collector's piece. The 2020 President Trump Freedom Coin. On one side, an image of Donald J. Trump. Other side lists all his major achievements. The commemorative 1-ounce coin is the only presidential Trump coin made of 99.9% silver. Not silver plating, and it's IRA approved. As the price of silver rises, so will the value of these coins. Go to TrumpCoin2020.com, use the code COIN to save $5 per coin or text COIN to 511-511. Go to TrumpCoin2020.com for the silver 2020 President Trump Freedom Coin. Available for a limited time only. Go to TrumpCoin2020.com today. Standard text rates may apply.
Starting to see some backed up traffic on I-49 northbound near Kings Highway, and a minor accident has traffic backed up on I-20 eastbound near the Industrial Drive exit. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
KeelAccuWeather.com. KeelAccuWeather.com forecast. Kind of sunny and hotter again today. Low to middle 90s. Little chance of rain at 75.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
Three past 8 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL down yonder. Miss Erin, local news, getting ready right now.
We're tracking Gordon and what it could do in Louisiana. That's coming up. New management at Cyport trying to get things back in order.
I want my better nails back.
Yeah, me too. I like that. It was a good massage, by the way. And big development for Bossier. I'm not kidding. I used to tell the kids, no, Mama's getting on that.
There's a joke about not the first time you've left Mark's, but we'll leave that
Whoa.
alone. We got a fascinating email from a listener moments ago that talks about basically what is the real issue in the Shreveport mayor's race. And how's my LSU poll going? Am I the biggest idiot, sports-wise?
You're getting trounced like Miami did.
In the Arklatex. Fletcher and sports, traffic, and weather all here this hour coming up on KEEL.
information. KEEL News now.
Tropical Storm Gordon made landfall near the Alabama-Mississippi border late last night with winds at 70 miles an hour. Governor John Bel Edwards says most of the impact will be felt to the east of our state, but we could see heavy rains across the southern part of the state and later across the north.
Truth is, there's not much difference between a strong tropical storm in terms of the force of the winds and a Category 1 hurricane.
National Weather Service meteorologist Eric Carpenter says with the move inland, the storm should slow down as northern portions of the state could feel the impact of the rains.
It should slow down some as it moves to the northwest towards northeast Louisiana. We should see rainfall increase.
Carpenter says not only should residents prepare for the storm to slow down, but to possibly even come to a halt over our state. New management trying to put back the Skyport pieces. Red River STEM, the management group now in charge, is trying to track down exhibits as they attempt to get the center back up and going. Many of the exhibits were shipped off by previous management company to be refurbished, but so far have not been returned. Bossier could be getting a new multi-million-dollar development. Matt Parker has that.
Dapper Holdings has offered to buy and develop a space in Bossier's new East Bank district. The company plans to spend $35 million to build a medical facility, boutique hotel, and office space. The development is expected to bring 75 to 100 temporary construction jobs and 100 permanent jobs. The City Council will vote on the sale of the land and ordinances related to the development at their next meeting. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
The Caddo Commission is debating whether or not they should spend $3 grand on yard signs, reminding residents to protect their belongings. Several commissioners believe the signs would help cut down on car break-ins and crime. However, others disagree and believe the money could be better spent elsewhere. An earthquake rocks East Texas. A 3.2 magnitude quake reported near Timpson Tuesday morning, about 25 miles east of Henderson. According to reports, tremors were felt in Timpson, Garrison, and Mount Enterprise. No one hurt, no severe damage. Senator John Kennedy had a front row seat to the Judiciary Supreme Court confirmation hearing for Judge Brett Kavanaugh that got a bit rowdy between protesters and Democrats on the committee. Kennedy weighed in, saying the judicial selection process is not the place for these kinds of fights.
It's not the United States Supreme Court that's supposed to fix this country culturally, economically, socially, spiritually.
The hearing's expected to continue today. This week marks the 12th anniversary of the disappearance of Clint Nelson. Nelson was last seen on the evening of September 1st, 2006, when he was walking out of a party in Bossier Parish. Lieutenant Bill Davis with the Sheriff's Office says investigators have combed through tips and are continuing to ask for the public's help with this case.
It's just a case that's baffled us over the years, hundreds of leads, and still no sign of Clint Nelson.
Davis says Nelson's mother has been persistently vocal with investigators about finding something in this case. Amazon becomes the second publicly traded company to be worth $1 trillion. Hot on the heels of Apple, Amazon has revolutionized how people shop online and is the world's dominant internet retailer. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
10 past 8 o'clock, Keel traffic update.
Starting to see some backed up traffic on I-49 northbound near Kings Highway, and a minor accident has traffic backed up on I-20 eastbound near the Industrial Drive exit. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, turning mostly cloudy but hot with a high of 95 today. Clouds, low 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon, mainly in the afternoon tomorrow. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zayer.
We're here. We're just kind of, never mind.
No.
1017 FM and 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. When we ended the 7 o'clock hour, we were discussing the current situation at Scyport. The way you make it sound, and I'm not trying to, I by no means am trying to belittle anything STEM has done or is attempting to do. STEM is, for lack of a better term, explain to folks what STEM is and what they want to do.
It's a science, technology, engineering, and math group.
Mhm.
That's what STEM stands for.
Acronym.
And they're taking over management of Scyport. They're under the wing of a community foundation temporarily. And then they're going to take over and reopen the museum and get it back up to speed.
Okay, so I by no means am trying to undermine or belittle what they're attempting to do. I think it's very noble, and it would be awesome. And that is a cornerstone, and has been of years, a cornerstone of downtown Shreveport.
And I mean, I'm an OG of Scyport, so I want them to do whatever they can.
Original geologist.
Yes, to bring it back.
So here's my question. Tell me I'm wrong when you and Matt have the story for me. And it makes it sound like Scyport, that its level of, dare I say, deterioration is far worse than anyone anticipated, and that it's going to cost far more than anyone estimated to get it back up to speed. And is it a bad sign? Is it a bad sign? Tell me if I'm wrong. Is it a bad sign that I think it seems to be that STEM wants the city to help pick up the tab for stuff?
That's true. The city owns the property. The city owns the exhibits. And so they're trying to work out something whereby the city would help pay for the refurbishment.
Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Say, no. They did their homework on this. Was STEM aware of the fact that a lot of the exhibits in Scyport were gone for quote-unquote repair?
Probably not.
And they were going to then...
They may have thought they were in storage. I don't know. I don't know.
So am I wrong when I ask, did they bite off more than they were ready to chew?
No. I think this group is really gung-ho and really excited about bringing this thing back, making it new. And I think the goal, and I always said all my years of being a Scyport member and taking my kids there regularly.
I think was your
term.
term.
Well, I'm an OG.
Yeah.
Is making it fresh. Every couple of years you got to make it fresh. Or your kids don't want to go back the same and lay on the same bed of nails, throw the same baseball, ride in that same lift chair up and down. They've seen it all. They've done it all. They want stuff fresh. I think this new group is dedicated to that, to making things new.
But
I mean, you're going to have some of the same old things.
Are they already behind the 8 ball on this?
This is a stumbling block. This is a hurdle.
Is this, I mean, the way your news story read, the way Matt's report read, is that Sci-Port's really a lot more tore up than anybody thought.
I think Matt can explain a little bit more about the renovation, because apparently some work had already started, and now it's kind of up in the air.
Yeah, it wasn't finished, so now it's just a semi-destroyed area with no end in sight.
So renovation in some areas of the building had begun, and it has stopped. So for all I know, there's still maybe scaffolding and stuff in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
The second thing is that a lot of the exhibits were shipped away for repair.
Right.
And those that have been, in fact, tracked down, the companies that were going to fix them, like your beloved Bed of Nails.
Got to have it back.
And people, the Bed of Nails repair shop, wherever it may be.
Right.
The guy's saying, look, send me a check.
It's at the Bone Place, Bed
I'll
of Nails.
send you your Bed of Nails.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love that thing.
Back to my original question. Is STEM already behind the 8 ball, or was it their plan all along to say to the city, hey, pitch in a few bucks?
I don't know what their plan was all along. I do know that this is a little bit of a hurdle for them. There's no doubt about it. And they've got to figure out what they're going to do.
And for a woman that 90 seconds ago said, well, they need a lot of new exhibits, are they working on that? Or are they just looking to get the same, to use your phrase, the same old Sci-Port at least back open and functioning before they begin new exhibits and internal improvements?
Well, they want to get it back up and going. They want it to be redone. They want the refurbishment to be done. But they want new things. But there's going to be, I know for a fact, if I ever went to Sci-Port with my children and there was no Bed of Nails there, they would have been upset. That was something we always stopped at. All of us laid on it. They had to make me get off.
Or you were face down.
Well, yeah, they don't like you laying face down on the Bed of Nails. Yeah. But you know, some things just have to be there. And they got to figure out what are those things that our city wants.
Did STEM have a target date, and does this push it back?
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I would imagine this is a delay. It's a little bit of a hurdle, so I'm sure it is a delay. Every time you run into little speed bumps, you got to push things back.
Is this a little speed bump, or is this something bigger?
I'm hoping it's a little speed bump. I'm hoping it is. But again, I don't know. We maybe need to get the new folks on.
Was there a response from the city about when STEM says, you know, if you wanted to throw in a couple of bucks, we wouldn't turn it away?
Mm-hmm.
Well, from what I read on this morning when I was, trying to get things together with Erin, it sounds like, they're finally getting in the building and starting to dig around in the closets and look for stuff and take an inventory, and they realize, hey, we've been here before. We know X, Y, and Z should be here, and it's gone. So they started making phone calls and tracking stuff down.
Excuse me just a second. Wait a second. There's discrepancy there. Not that it's your discrepancy. Did they know from... You're making it sound like they're just doing their first walkthrough.
Well, but when you know how it is, you move, you're like, oh, well, all my stuff's here, and then all of a sudden you start looking for your Bob Dylan records and you realize they're gone, so you start digging through closets and boxes. That's kind of where...
So sometime since the origination of STEM and them doing this walkthrough, things have been shipped away. That's what there's a disconnect there for me.
The previous company shipped all this stuff away to get cleaned up and taken care of,
Right.
but all of it's in storage. When they're ripping stuff out of closets and things and taking an inventory and going, well, where's the Bed of Nails? They're still tracking a lot of stuff down because there was a lot of things just tucked away in corners and in closets and in rafters, so they're still unpacking boxes from the house.
Gotcha.
So after they figured out, like, well, we got this damage over here, this is missing, these people have it and want some money. They're trying to figure out.
So has the city responded to the financial request?
Spokesperson from the city said, well, that should be STEM's
We'll get back to you on
And
this.
STEM's like, well, it's your stuff. Maybe you should pay for it. So they're kind of a stalemate.
19 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Because you know Shreveport is flush with cash.
Oh, yeah.
Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Starting to see some backed up traffic on I-49 northbound near Kings Highway. And a minor accident has traffic backed up on I-20 eastbound near the Industrial Drive exit. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
Twenty-two past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. LSU linebacker K'Lavon Chason will miss the rest of the 2018 season after tearing his ACL in the Miami game. The sophomore was expected to be the Tigers' most potent pass rusher. Other injury news, offensive tackle Adrian McGee will miss at least 2 to 3 weeks with a knee injury. The 11th-ranked Bayou Bengals welcome Southeastern Louisiana to Tiger Stadium Saturday night in the home opener. You can listen on 1130 The Tiger. Alex Bregman doubled 3 times, knocking in a pair of runs, and scored once to lead Red Hot Houston to a 5-2 win over Minnesota at Minute Maid Park. Justin Verlander allowed just 3 hits and 1 run in 7 innings to improve to 14-9. The Astros have won 4 in a row in 11 of their last 14 games and now own a 3.5-game lead over Oakland. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. If you're watching the Keel Morning Show, streaming video on Facebook, take your shoe off and show it to everyone. What your Nike shoe.
Okay. Don't even say the N word anymore. I don't want you to say it.
Okay.
These are comfy shoes. I've had them a while. I normally don't wear this
your
brand.
Your computer screen is blocking my view.
Okay.
Wow, good job.
I normally don't wear this brand. I normally get wearing my Adidas or Asics.
Yeah.
But this pair was lightweight, and I like it. And I really have worn it out. But now I don't want to advertise for this company. Don't want to say their brand name. I've blacked out the tongue, the words on the tongue.
Yeah, nice job.
And I've blacked out the little, I don't even want to say what it is. The little, looks like a check mark on it. I blacked out the check mark on this company.
Yes.
It's my right to do that.
It is.
It's Colin Kaepernick's right to do what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
But when a company wants to give him millions of dollars, and which shows support for what he's been doing.
So what you going to do with those shoes? You going to give them away?
I'm thinking about burning them in the hall here in a minute.
Maybe give them to a homeless shelter.
Should I?
Yeah. Rather than set fire to good clothes.
Yeah, I could give them to somebody. Anybody want a size 8.5?
Men's.
Really used.
Really used.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Nice.
I think Burnham's a better option.
Oh, yeah, I think so, because sure the hell are flammable. An interesting note, before we get to the LSU poll, an interesting note, and I mentioned this in the 6 o'clock hour, and I had thought of this the other night as soon as I saw it, but I made a mental note, which is why, of course, I forgot. In the Michigan-Notre Dame game, was that on Saturday, I guess?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That Notre Dame won 24-17. Notre Dame was ahead 24-10. And Notre Dame was ahead 24-10. Michigan started to come back, and so it's 24-17. Michigan's got the ball with less than 2 minutes left, and they're moving the ball down the field.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a Michigan fumble, and the quarterback fumbled, and Notre Dame recovered.
Yeah.
Now, as you guys know, the quarterback for Michigan this year is Shea Patterson.
Yep, transferred from Ole Miss.
Who came from Ole Miss, was at Calvary for a couple of years.
Local
before
guy.
he went to the he went from Calvary. He went to, was it IMG in Florida?
Florida,
he went to.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he was at Calvary for a couple of years.
I think his family's still here.
Well, the guy that made the tackle on him that caused the fumble was Jerry Tillery, another Shreveport guy from Evangel.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
high school rivals.
As Matt phrased it, it was Shreveport on Shreveport crime.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so back to the poll.
Okay, you ready?
I had said yesterday, and I had well, here, you just read what you have, because it is excellent sports writing. I'll give you a pat on the back.
The headline says, do you have an opinion about LSU's quarterback? Lots of folks are arguing about new LSU quarterback Joe Burrow. Some say his performance in the trouncing of Miami was lackluster, but others say he did a good job managing the game and making great passes. Robert thinks Burrow will have trouble with those tough defenses from the SEC, while Erin and Matt think Burrow is up to the task of running the offense against the likes of Auburn, Bama, Florida, and Georgia. We want to know your opinion. Take our poll and listen as we talk about what you say.
My concern is what I said yesterday. Is it going to be, it looks to me like it's going to be the same old LSU team. If you can get 200 yards rushing, 175 yards rushing, everybody's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody stacks the line, if they put 7 or 8 up front and say, no, we're going to make you beat us by throwing the ball, my question is, did Joe Burrow show you anything to show you that he's the guy who can throw 30 or 35 times for 300 to 350 yards and 3 TDs and beat SEC quality opponents? And I just didn't see that against what was supposed to be a really good Miami squad.
Here's our poll. LSU fans, are you confident Joe Burrow is the quarterback to direct a successful Tigers air attack against SEC opponents when they take away the run? Yes, no, or undecided. Let's see how the voting's going.
It's not going to look good for me, is it?
Yeah, I don't think so. Let's
My
see how we're
friends
looking.
beat me up.
You've improved a little.
I got whipped on
I
at
bet
lunch
you did.
yesterday.
64% say he's the guy. 17% say nope, he ain't the guy. And another 17% are undecided.
29 past 8 o'clock. The poll online, by the way, at KEELnews.com. Local news is next. Traffic update now on KEEL.
The intersection at Piermont Road and Line Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we're still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
information. KEEL News now.
Tropical Storm Gordon made landfall near the Alabama-Mississippi border late last night. Winds at 70 miles an hour. Richard Pash, a senior hurricane specialist at the Hurricane Center in Miami, tells us what the storm is likely to do.
Produce some strong winds and storm surges of up to 4 feet above normal. 4 to 8 inches of rain, with some areas up high as 12 inches over the southern United States there, including parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, southern Arkansas, and the western Florida Panhandle.
National Weather Service meteorologist Eric Carpenter says with Gordon's move inland, the storm should slow down as northern portions of the state feel the impact of the rain. He says the storm could even come to a halt over our state.
Eventually maybe stalling for a little bit, and this could happen right over the northeast corner of Louisiana in that area. Depending where that happens, there could be a prolonged period of heavy rain threat.
A child has died in Florida in what could be Gordon's first storm-related death. The Escambia County Sheriff's Office posted on its Facebook page that deputies responded to a call that a tree had fallen on a mobile home in Pensacola. Upon their arrival, they found a child deceased. Dapper Holdings has offered to buy and develop a space in Bossier's new East Bank district. The company plans to spend $35 million to build a medical facility, a boutique hotel, and office space. The development expected to bring 75 to 100 temporary construction jobs and 100 permanent jobs. New management trying to put back Cyport's pieces. Matt Parker with the latest.
Red River STEM, the new management group in charge of Cyport, is trying to track down exhibits as they attempt to get the center back up and running. Many of the exhibits were shipped off by the previous management company to be refurbished, but were never returned. Another issue preventing Cyport from being reopened is part of the building needs to be rebuilt. Red River STEM and the city are discussing their options and who will be responsible for completing the remodel and getting the old exhibits back. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Can yard signs solve some of our crime problems? The Caddo Commission debating whether or not they should spend $3,000 on yard signs, reminding residents to protect their belongings. Several commissioners believe the signs could help cut down on car break-ins and crime across the parish. However, other commissioners disagree and believe the money could be better spent. Senator John Kennedy had a front-row seat to the Judiciary Supreme Court confirmation hearing for Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Got a bit rowdy, though, with protesters there. Kennedy reiterated his earlier position that he's looking for a justice who will be a strict originalist interpreter of the Constitution.
It's almost become cliche, but the role of a judge is, or at least should be, to say what the law is, not what the law ought to be.
The hearing expected to continue today. Federal authorities say they've recovered a pair of ruby slippers worn by Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz that were stolen from a Minnesota museum 13 years ago. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
One 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. You okay down there?
I'm all right. No, I'm not all right.
The reason I'm laughing,
I'm glad you asked.
The reason I'm laughing is because
this is going to just...
Here's how, just hold on. Here's how this show works. If I do what is called the basics, you do call letters, you say your name, you set the stage, then if I stop talking...
I drive the train off the tracks.
Basically, you're going to... How are you? 2, 3, 4...
I'm not okay today.
Now that you mentioned,
I want to tell you something that has got,
Excuse me.
You
Do
know
you
those
have any
little things
idea?
you step on.
Do you have any idea what this is going to be about?
No, he has no clue.
I don't care.
My father never lied to me, and in this case, he is right on. He's been dead for a long time. But he was so right.
About?
He always told me how sweet I was. Wait a minute.
Oh, God.
Because I didn't understand all the years we went camping, we were outdoors, I used to get eaten up by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
My brothers never got mosquito bites. I didn't understand it. My father used to say, "It's because you're so sweet." Well, I'm sitting outside last night with my grandpuppy, and Robert, I am getting eaten alive by skeeters.
You know why that is?
It's because I'm so damn sweet.
It's the only thing I can think of.
And you know the problem with it right now?
You're getting sweeter.
I'm getting sweeter by age. And you know what skeeters carry?
What?
They carry the WN.
The what?
The WN could be getting me.
West Nike.
I don't want West Nike virus.
No one does.
It could harm you.
Make
And
a-
now right when you asked me how I was like, dang, I got a little itch from a skeeter bite.
Yeah.
And I need to catch that guy and get him tested.
The brain swelling has begun, I can tell.
All of a sudden, she wants to kneel.
We've had cases of West Nike virus in our community.
It's West Nike virus.
Yes.
Get stung by a mosquito and you fall to your knees.
You start throwing up because you got West Nike.
838, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Okay, I'm going to tie.
No, I'm not okay.
I'm going to tie the Shreveport Mayor's race in with the Aretha Franklin funeral.
Uh-oh.
When we get back.
Okay.
Oh, no, not a far stretch at all.
All right.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Rubens here.
Still seeing some backed up traffic on I-220 westbound near North Market due to construction. And we have some traffic delays on Swan Lake Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline at 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast. Today will turn out cloudy but hot with a high of 95. Clouds and a low of 71 tonight. Showers from Gordon tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. With your AccuWeather.com forecast, I'm meteorologist Heather Zaire.
FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty.
I apologize for the last segment.
No, it was pretty awesome.
Strayed
actually.
a bit.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
that West Nike virus will tear a girl up. I was intrigued by this article that I saw last night.
Mm-hmm.
And we had talked a little bit yesterday about the Aretha Franklin funeral.
You bet.
And sort of the John McCain funeral, too, but the overt and crass politicization of both.
Right.
Specifically, admittedly in different ways.
Yeah.
But in this case, the Aretha Franklin funeral, and I had said it's, do you get the sense that nobody in the Aretha Franklin family, that somewhere along the line, they just lost control of the whole thing?
I think they did.
And a whole bunch of, like Antifa, put together her funeral. I mean, what bunch of leftist, socialist community organizers came in and did the Aretha funeral? And in fact, the only thing that deviated from that, oh wait, we'll get to that. The only thing that deviated from the leftist political ideology is the only thing that the family has apologized for. No one in the family has apologized for that Minister Ellis trying to get to second base with singer Ariana Grande.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in the family has apologized for that same Minister Ellis making the remark that he thought that her name, I saw your name, I thought it was something on the Taco Bell menu.
Right.
What the hell? They have apologized for the minister named, what was his name? Jasper Williams.
Yeah.
Here we go. Aretha Franklin's family has condemned comments made during the singer's eulogy as offensive and distasteful. The statements made by Reverend Jasper Williams, senior pastor of Salem Baptist Church, delivered Franklin's eulogy at her funeral in Detroit on Friday. Remember what he said?
Oh, yeah.
In his eulogy,
I read this yesterday.
Williams, deviating from the leftist political ideology, my words, not the articles, Williams spoke on the state of African Americans in America, saying black people have lost their soul, and that Franklin was calling on her race to turn its direction around. So basically, a black minister stands up and says, hey, black folks, you got to take care of yourselves. You got to stop shooting each other. You've got to get educated. You've got to do all the... Wait, let me see what it says. Williams referenced black-on-black crime and killings in particular. He said, if you choose to ask me today, do Black Lives matter? Let me answer like this. No, Black lives do not matter. Black lives will not matter. Black lives ought not matter. Black lives shouldn't matter. Black lives must not matter until black people start respecting other black lives and stop killing ourselves. Black lives can never matter. Then he went on to say, a black woman, talking about illegitimate pregnancy, illegitimate birth, a black woman cannot raise a black boy to be a man. Right in your own neighborhoods, he said, where your church is, there are struggling single moms that don't know what to do. Houses that need a man in the house. Through mentoring programs and parenting our own children, we can turn black America around. Then he said, the Queen of Soul has spoken. Time now for black America to come back home. So what's the one thing out of all the crap at that funeral that the family has apologized for and has condemned? Him diverting, him deviating from the leftist orthodoxy. Read a little bit, if you have it in front of you. And you said, well, how are you going to tie that into the Shreveport mayor's race?
Right.
Read in front of you the email, the first part, that we received about 30 minutes ago.
Okay, let me find it. Hang on.
I've got it
Here
here.
it
You
is.
want me to?
Here it is.
You go ahead. You take it.
You want to know why Shreveport is always standing still or always in a confused state of affairs? It's because people, the people, all people, we the people here in Shreveport are always shooting ourselves in the foot. when you have a divisiveness of communication that does not include a truthfulness of reshaping the way business is done here in Shreveport,
And pardon me, I
then
think
you continue down the rabbit hole.
when you say business, I think this woman, an African-American woman, by the way, when she says business, she means a lot more than commerce.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You cannot live separate and tout equal when such is not the case. We speak to economics, and many are saying there are plenty of jobs but no workers, sort of like the harvest is ready, but the laborers are few. Why such would be? If the wage is not commensurate to the work, that alone will drive those who would work away. No one wants to work for a wage that is not livable. If your educational system is not addressing the needs of all its boys and girls equally, then you set the course of why our economic status remains.
What did Stephen Wagasback say to us? Matt, do you have the soundbite? Do you have the soundbite about Louisiana and Louisiana workers? Basically, what I said was sort of the ABCs of employment.
Yeah. He's right on target.
Here we go. Stephen Wagasback, president of the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry, talking about, and this goes back to what I had said earlier a couple of times, are the odds so stacked against Shreveport by state policies and, in previous generations, federal free trade policies that have ravaged Shreveport economics?
But there's some warning signs. Right now, our wage growth is the lowest in the country. Our wages are going up year after year, worse than any other state. And we have almost 60% of our adult population not in the workforce. And that is a huge
Wait, pardon
issue.
me. Repeat that again and say it a little more slowly and emphatically.
We have the lowest wage growth in the country, and we have 60% of our population in the workforce. That means almost 40% of our adults aren't looking for a job. And that's the lowest ratio since 1977. So we have low wage growth. We have a low number of adults looking for jobs. That is a recipe for disaster. We have got to turn that around and start putting people in the workforce, making them get off the couch and get into a job. And hopefully wages will go up there because there are jobs out there. I hear employers all the time saying they're looking for workers. What they can't find is workers who can read and write and stay off drugs and have soft skills. And soft skills is code for work ethic. You can come in, show up every day, and be dependable.
Yeah, the soft skills. Show up for work and do your job.
I told you.
We don't have people that do that.
I told you a long time ago about a friend of mine who had a friend in Shreveport who had a small business, a restaurant on Uri Drive, which is now closed. And she said the problem in Shreveport, originally from Lafayette.
Had a lot of great business, too.
Problem with Shreveport was, she said, I can't find workers. And say, why? And she said, because Shreveport is filled with a whole bunch of 20-year-olds who know that this is the best job they'll ever have, and they're already burned out. You don't think this mayoral race matters? You don't think this is an important...
Oh.
You don't think
it's huge.
Hanging in the balance, kids. 849, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Ruben's here.
Still seeing some backed up traffic on I-220 westbound near North Market due to construction. And we have some traffic delays on Swan Lake Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
KeelAccuWeather.com forecast kind of sunny. A small chance of rain, a little warmer today, low to middle 90s. Right now, 77 at Keel. Here's your money now.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
Nike has entered the fray on kneeling. This weekend, they ran a new ad featuring a close-up face of Colin Kaepernick and the phrase, "Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything."
Yeah, believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. See, this is just more liberal mumbo-jumbo. Do you know who sacrificed everything? Pat Tillman. He gave up a lucrative career in the NFL so that he could serve his country overseas, and he died doing so. That's who sacrificed everything.
Sure hope Nike really believes in this, because given what's happened to their stock price, they're going to sacrifice a lot for this ad.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
I'm not going to get into the details. 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert and Erin, I shan't get into the details of the story, but I had somebody ask me a few days ago if I knew the guy that worked with Erin McCarty on the radio. You know that guy? You know that guy that worked with Erin McCarty?
He's a jerk, isn't
Been
he?
together a long time.
Oh, you should have said, do you like him?
I said, but he knows his football.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
The man. He said the man. I'm here. He's the...
Oh, boy.
I had something for this last segment, but I forgot. I remember. I didn't watch too much of the Kavanaugh, the Kavanaugh hearings yesterday.
I watched some of it.
Except you did watch it? I know there was like Democrats kept interrupting and throwing like hissy fits, as my nanny would call it. And it seemed to me like they didn't say anything of substance other than, "He sucks. He's a bad guy. He sucks. He's terrible. He's got to go." There's
shame on Chuck Grassley is all I got to say.
Let me ask you this.
He let it get out of control.
Look, when you've got Code Pink and Antifa and all the crazies in the gallery, there's nothing you can do.
No, they moved them out quick.
Unless you want to empty the gallery.
They were each given 10 minutes to speak. Grassley let it go beyond, and then you get to John Kennedy, and he goes, "Well, Mr. Chairman, I guess I've got 2 hours left based on the way things are going here."
Do you think there is anyone?
It was nuts.
I was going to say, do you think there's anybody, the Republicans, that Trump could have nominated that the Democrats would approve of? But let me rephrase.
No, come on.
The only Supreme Court nominee The only Supreme Court nominee that the Democrats would approve of at this point is Margaret Sanger. Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9, 1017 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Kim Commando.
Summer's over. Kids are in class. And parents have bravely begun yet another cycle of fretting and fighting about screen time, Instagram, Snapchat, and Fortnite. But don't think for a moment that school distractions are anything new. Kim Commando with your Wednesday Consumer Tech Update, presented by Legacy Box. Simply the best way to preserve your past. LegacyBox.com/Kim. September 2008, just in time for school, the iPhone craze was underway. Texting became the newest source of teacher parental concern. Go back further. 1988, Atari games and Mario Brothers were the big-time vampires. In 1958, the new fall network television schedules played havoc with homework. In fact, that's when the concept of screen time was born. Let's try 1938. Radio shows distracted kids everywhere. In 1918, there were the so-called dime novels. Concerned parents, you're in great company. I'm Kim Commando. I've got some big dinner plans for my family coming this week, and it doesn't involve restaurants or takeout or even grocery shopping. Here on the Kim Commando Show each week, I tell you all about simple recipes, gourmet touches and flavors, delivered right to your door with garden-fresh, pre-measured ingredients. Just go to HelloFresh.com, choose from a variety of recipes across veggie, classic, and family plans. Then your meals arrive with easy-to-follow full-color instructions. With HelloFresh, you'll whip up dinner in just 30 minutes or less. And there are lots of one-pot recipes for speedy cooking and minimal cleanup after a busy day. After 2 or 3 weeks of HelloFresh, you'll love your new dinner routine. I know I do, because of how simple and fun it is to cook and enjoy delicious home-cooked meals. For a limited time, get $30 off your first box at HelloFresh.com/Kim, plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/Kim for $30 off your first order. HelloFresh.com/Kim.
Still seeing some backed up traffic on I-220 westbound near North Market due to construction. And we have some traffic delays on Swan Lake Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline at 687-ROAD.
Your AccuWeather.com forecast, turning mostly cloudy but hot with a high of 95 today.